If you're sharp and strategic and experienced, that might be exactly why you're struggling. Smart test takers fail the SHRM exam every single day because they're so experienced that they're overthinking. And I don't mean being too careful. I mean assuming, adding details, filling in gaps that the question does not give you. Let me show you exactly how your achievements might be the reason you keep landing on the wrong answer. So here's what I mean by overthinking. You read a question, you understand the question, and then your brain starts adding details that are not there. You might start thinking, well, if this manager is asking for HR advice, they probably already tried coaching the employee first. Or they wouldn't escalate this if it wasn't serious. And now you're answering based on context that you invented, not the context that SHRM gave you. The SHRM exam is not a full story. It's a snapshot. It is a frozen moment in time. Your job is to make the best possible decision based on what you see, not what you assume. And listen, I get that. You're smart. You are strategic. You're used to solving real-world HR problems, and that makes it hard to take the question at face value. That was my problem too. But SHRM isn't grading how well you fix things. We know you're a rock star at work. We know you work with the little bit that you have. But they're grading you on whether you can think within the frame that they give you. Here's the thing. The better you are in real life, the more dangerous this becomes. Because high performers naturally fill in the blanks. We read between the lines. We use our experience to connect the dots. We work with what we have. But on the SHRM exam, that instinct will hurt you. I hear constantly from my students who miss questions things like, I just assumed they already tried that, or that wouldn't even make sense unless HR had already been involved. That would never happen. Or my favorite one is, I picked that one because the others felt like they were over the top. I hear that one all the time. And I tell them, SHRM did not say that. You said that. You have to learn to make a decision without imagining extra details. You have to answer based on the facts in the question, not the facts that your brain makes up. You can't start guessing what's true. Even if you're right in real life, you're still going to get the answer wrong on the exam. And that's what matters for this test. So let's break a question down together. A manager comes to HR about a conflict between two high-performing employees with very different work styles. What should the HR professional do next? A says recommend the manager separate the employees to prevent further conflict. B says suggest the manager address the issue informally with each employee to preserve productivity. C says coach the manager on how to facilitate a conversation between the employees. And D says to escalate the issue to senior leadership as it involves two high performers and may affect broader team dynamics. Now, I'm actually going to tell you what one of my students said. The correct answer is C, but my student chose D. And I asked her why she chose D. She said, well, they are high performers, which means production is on the line. So I figured we needed to bring in senior leadership to prevent production from slowing. The manager wouldn't be coming to HR unless it was something serious like that. But who said that? Some managers come to HR because they can come to HR. So what did SHRM actually tell you? Just that there is a conflict and a manager asks for help. That's it. So if you pick an answer that assumes that HR should immediately redesign the team workflow or launch a full intervention, you've overstepped the role and you've added to the story. The best answer is actually to coach the manager on how to facilitate a conversation between those employees because it mentioned nothing about production being on the line. That matches the information given and the level of response that is appropriate based on what we know. Tell yourself, I don't solve what I imagine. I solve what I see. If you've caught yourself doing this, here's how we're going to fix it. First thing, only underline confirmed actions. Ask yourself what's already happened. Not what do I think they've already done, but what has happened. Step 2, strip the question down to plain English. The manager comes to HR because employees are in conflict. There is no resolution yet. That's it. That's all you get. That's all you know about that question. Step 3, before you pick your answer, ask yourself, am I assuming anything that isn't written? Did I just imagine the step that is not there? And if you did, you're off track. So you need to start over. Use the READ framework. The answer that wins on this exam is the one that fits the evidence that is written, not the evidence that you've made up. This is one of the biggest patterns I see with my students, especially the experienced ones. Not failing because you don't know HR, but failing because you're bringing your version of HR into the test. I spend a lot of time retraining students how to read questions the SHRM way. We don't just memorize content. We decode the questions and we use strategies to break it down. If this is the kind of thing that's happening to you, I promise you, don't panic. It can be fixed. You don't need to study harder. You need to think differently. You need to read what's in front of you. Okay, so let's bring it all home. First, the SHRM questions are incomplete, and that's on purpose. They just give you what they want you to have. The moment you add imaginary steps, you start solving the wrong problem. And the smarter you are, the more likely you are to fall into this trap. But now that you see this, you can stop doing it. You can slow down, strip the question to what's real, and trust your logic, not your assumptions. Now, if you saw yourself in this video, let me know in the comments. And don't worry, we can fix it. Remember, I have a whole library of things that can help you to learn to decode the questions, to get to the real strategy. So go to my website. It is HRExamPrepWithAngela.com, and you'll see lots of tools there to help you. See you guys next time. Bye.